I'm Jenny Williams with Extra Living at eXp Realty, and today I am at Kool 96.9 FM in Chelsea, and you're watching Life Along 280 in Chelsea. Y'all, she needs no introduction because most everybody in Chelsea and along 280 knows this special woman, and I can tell you that I'm super happy that I do. So, welcome, Donna.
Thank you. Welcome into the studio.
Well, you know I love to hang out at Kool 96.9 where all the cool kids hang out.
That's right, we do.
So tell me, what do you do here? What is Kool? What do you do?
Well, what do I not do here? So I do a lot of stuff. I record and I edit the recordings, those are radio spots for sponsors on the radio, otherwise known as advertising. So I'll sell advertising, so a lot of people in Chelsea have done that, and we appreciate that. I produce programs. I have a program on Saturday mornings. We used to have a program with you, and we're doing it now on online.
Right, through this method.
That's right here. And I do a lot with Chelsea High School with athletics, and we produce a lot of things for them. We do live broadcasts. We do a lot.
Well, so many people know you because you're involved in all those things. You're involved in the schools, you're involved with a lot of the small businesses and organizations, and I got to meet you from my friend. So that's what's so wonderful about Chelsea, is like introductions to introductions to introductions
right.
to great people. So I called my friend Mike at Chelsea Tire, and I was asking him some questions, and he was like, "You need to call my friend Donna."
Yeah.
So,
love Mike.
Such a happy day that was for me.
It was great for both of us because not only was it a business connection, but you're one of my best friends now.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
Great. It's perfect.
So, well, okay, you go in and you talk to a lot of the small businesses to help sponsor, because this is actually a nonprofit.
It is.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so it's nonprofit radio. There's different rules for the FCC that we have to follow. And because it's nonprofit, our rates are very low if somebody wants to advertise during the month or over a period of months. It's very competitive. It's a lot less than you would go have if you went to a larger radio station or a public radio station. So nonprofit means that everything that we make goes right back into the radio station. And you know, some people think, well, it's a low power FM and it's a nonprofit, so there's not going to be that many people listening. Or people will ask us, well, how many people do you have listening? And really, there's no way to gauge that. But we look at the population, and so they've narrowed it down to, it's probably a little bit more, but the last time they checked it was between 180,000 to 200,000 people that we actually have the opportunity to touch, you know, through the actual frequency that we have. So that's a lot of people.
It is.
It's a lot of people.
And the tower is what, in Highland Lakes?
The tower is in Highland Lakes, up on the mountain. So if you look up there and see a bunch of towers, one of those is ours. Probably not the tallest one, but one of those is ours. And that's how we get all this. This runs 24 hours. When we do a live broadcast, we actually go in and we have to program the break for the broadcast. And as soon as we're finished with the broadcast, it goes right back on the air and it loops into the next song. So it's always on. So I don't have to sit here. Somebody isn't always sitting here programming it. Now, we do have people that program from afar. So Mark Snow, actually, I'll send him whatever I record and need on the air, and he goes into the program remotely, and he puts it on the air. And so Mark lives in Pelham, and the other owner is David Brady, and he lives in Highland Lakes. And so we're actually in David Brady's business office.
Yeah,
this is where the radio
station studio here
is set up here. Yeah, so David owns Ridgecrest Homes, and so you'll hear a lot of Ridgecrest Homes ads on the radio because those are free. That's right. So yeah, a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
Well, I think that people will be surprised at how good the music is. The selections are really good.
It is.
So, you know, if if you're driving around and want to hear some, just fresh take of, a lot of nostalgic songs are playing, but really good stuff. And Sundays, you even have special programming.
Yes, from Sunday morning, I believe it's 6 a.m. to noon, we have a Christian selection. And from time to time, we'll have actually churches will come on and we'll hear their pastor preach, a little message. And so that's really neat. A lot of people don't know. And if you are surfing the radio on Sunday morning, you'll come across an old, Amy Grant song and go, what? Who's playing Amy Grant? Or another artist from back in the day, and also current things too.
Right, there's current.
But there's limited amount of Christian radio in the Birmingham area. So when you come across that it's not the other radio station,
right?
It's like, okay, that's cool. They're playing Christian radio too. So
it is, especially right now since so many people are remotely attending church, and it just gives you just another way to worship and celebrate Sunday. So
exactly,
I love that because it's some good stuff.
It is good, and I love it during the week. Every time I get in my car, it's so funny. I always tell people this. My husband is so supportive of what I do, and bless his heart. I mean, talk about taking one for the team. I mean, he really does. So I got in my car when I first got the car, and all the radio stations were set to 96.9.
Aww.
He set all the presets there so that it would always, no matter what button you push, it's right there.
How sweet!
So that was
that?
real sweet of him.
He is so sweet anyway. But.
He is a sweet one. He is very supportive.
So you've gotten to meet a lot of special people. You also, as part of the radio show, you were involved in a lot of school events. So, tell us about, how you cover some of that.
Okay, well, it started, I would say, Jenny, from years ago, before I ever came to work with the radio station. My kids grew up in the Chelsea school system. And so I knew so many people, teachers, administrators, coaches, and the kids themselves, and I have seen kids literally grow up at the Chelsea schools, the kids that are seniors now, I remember when they were little kids, some of them when they were babies, and
so
that's dating me, that's aging me, but I'm so proud
Look at
of
that face. That is an ageless face.
It's really not. But that was my joy, is just staying involved. And when my youngest was getting ready, she was in high school, and her time was going to be coming to an end at the high school, and I wasn't really sure what that was going to mean for me. And I was already working for the radio station, but before that I had been in the PTO. I love our PTO, and I can say that because I was once the PTO president.
That does not surprise me.
So that is really, when I was PTO president, is when I got the call from our mayor, Tony Picklesheimer. He said, you need to go work for the radio station. I told him to call you, and I was like, I have a job. And he's like, no, this is what you need to be doing. So here I am, it's 4 years later, and I'm still here, and I love it. I love, like you said, the people. I love the kids so much. I was joking with somebody about the girls' basketball team, me watching them play. I get so nervous. You would think I had a child on the team. Or even, the boys play, whether it's basketball or football or baseball or the girls' softball team. And I love all of it. It's not just about broadcasting for me.
Oh, no, definitely
it's
not.
About the connections and those relationships, and I just feel so much for the children, the kids and the parents. I'm really good friends with a lot of the parents, so it just brings me joy that I get to do that. I get to do something I love, but also still interact with the wonderful people of Chelsea, and
that is,
I love it.
All you right there.
It is. I've joked with Tony that I'm going to run for mayor someday, but I'm not qualified for that, obviously. But I love it. I just love the people here, and you come across people that are not as supportive as others, but for the most part, I would say probably 95% of the people that I meet, I have a very deep friendship with them, and if I don't immediately, then I do very soon thereafter meeting them. And I love people.
They're hooked.
I love people, so it works. It works. And yes, the radio station is an avenue for that. And but I don't take that for granted either. I know that it's not about where you work. It's not about what you do. It's about the relationships that you make.
It is.
And your integrity to people and kindness. I'm always saying, just be kind. You know, I see some of the posts on Facebook and I'm like, just be kind. You know, just be kind to people. But
right, you would think that's an easy
it's not
solution
easy.
to remember, but obviously not.
It's
getting harder and harder.
It is. But I try to always be positive.
You're always positive. Even when you were going through some really dark things, you're always positive. And I think that's what people love about you and adore about you. So, and Friday nights during football season are pretty special for Kool 96.9.
Yes, they are. We have the football broadcast on 96.9, and it's at not just the home games, but also the away games. And so you will hear Ray Franklin and Richard Powers, and they do the play-by-play and the color commentary. And what started out as them just helping out, it just blew up. And they're known as the voice of Chelsea high school football. You know, they're there, and they love it as well. And they're not employees of the radio station. You know, they've started out just saying, let us do this. Let us help you. And they love it as well. And, you know, we try to treat them right and help them out as well. And it's just a great relationship. We so appreciate them. And then it moves into basketball. We have David Ingram and Mike McNamee, and they are the Chelsea Youth Club coaches, but also they've been in Chelsea for many years. And so they help out with basketball and do the play-by-play and the commentary and the color commentary. And it's just a great chemistry with both of those teams. And at any time, anybody could step in and have stepped in to do, to help out, you know, and to be there with them. And it always works. And it's because we all share this same love for Chelsea and want to see not just the radio station do well, but we want to see the kids do well.
The kids do well.
We're watching this legacy grow up.
And just
Chelsea.
the support that the community has for the school teams.
Yeah.
And you can walk into the drugstore here and buy T-shirts.
Yes,
You know,
I have.
Me too.
Yes.
I took one home the other day.
Yes.
You know, I've been an Oak Mountain Eagle the whole time that my kids went through school, and I bought a Hornet shirt.
Another good school, actually. So yeah, everybody's so supportive. Everybody in the city, and I think that comes from it's being a small town, right? We're not so small anymore, but it still feels like that small town atmosphere.
Right.
You still got the leaders in the town, the business owners that have been here for many years, and some haven't been, but everybody shares that love for Chelsea, and it's just a beautiful thing you can't find in other towns. You know, not everywhere. Not everything. Every place is as special, I think, in my opinion, as Chelsea, Alabama. I love it.
I do too. I agree 100%. And y'all, that is exactly why people are moving here, and Chelsea is growing so quickly. So if you want more details about, you know, what you can afford in Chelsea, or maybe you want to move up to a different neighborhood in Chelsea, then just reach out at 205-223-1044. We can give you an exact about what your home may sell for. When Donna put her house on the market, she's sitting here working right at a radio station. I'm like, I've got to have the best description for her house ever. So it took me 2 days, I guess, to come up with it. And we just took that song, Paint Me a Birmingham, and I rewrote it for her house.
It brought tears to my eyes. It was perfect.
It was perfect for it. So we have so much fun just promoting this great place to live. So if you're interested in moving this way, then just give me a call. We'll figure it out for you. All right, so I've been showing a lot of houses lately in Chelsea, and people are really wanting new construction. And you recently moved into a new neighborhood.
I did.
And I've been actually funneling lots of people to Adams Ridge.
Good.
Because I'm like, God, you can have a really good neighbor over here.
Me, literally. Literally, there is a lot right next to my house that nobody has purchased yet.
Everybody really wants kind of the same thing right now. They want master on the main, very few steps, and they want an additional bedroom on the main. And you'd be surprised how difficult it is to find. Masters upstairs on the second level have really been hard to sell this year. Even with the market being as fast and as happening as it is, that's been a difficult sell. So, what have you been seeing as far as you have a lot of traffic in your neighborhood that's been going through with people looking and?
Yeah, people are driving through and looking. Of course, there's a lot of construction work still, but people are driving through, and I'll notice they'll slow down. You can always tell those people who are checking the neighborhood out because they're going really slow and they're pausing in front of each house to look at, what does the elevation on the front look like? What does the floor plan kind of look like? So, but yeah, several people. And actually, I was outside one day. My husband went out in the front yard, and we saw an agent come by that I knew, and he was like, "Are you Donna Bowles?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "I didn't know you lived over here." And he introduced me to his client. He said she's looking in here, and we ended up talking for a really long time. And she said, "This is where I need to come here. I need to be here. I love this."
Well, this Thursday, I've got a brand new construction that's closing that my husband built, Jay built, and it's in Glenstone. And so he's built almost every single house in that neighborhood. This is the last one.
Aww.
I know, so it's, I don't know, and the most special people are buying it. I absolutely adore them. And she sent me the cutest picture, because she's been going by and checking on it every day. And Jay built her a banquette in the kitchen, and distressed, because the backsplash and the island it's white, distressed white, looks so good. And she said, "I love every piece of this." And it's just, again, we talked about how special Chelsea is, but, just having neighbors like that. I showed this $700,000 house the other day in Homewood, and she said, "I have spent so many years preparing myself for colleges. I have a PhD. I have now found the man that I married, and I have to make a decision about a very expensive house in less than an hour." That's a lot of pressure that's going on.
Yeah.
So you kind of need help with that to make sure you're asking the right questions, make sure that you're not getting into something over your head. So that's what we do. Well, and there are things that are going to happen. Every property is different. Every situation is different. Every buyer seller is different. Every loan and mortgage company is different. So there are obstacles that come up in every single transaction. That's just how it works. There are issues. Erica has a neighbor that's been trying to sell his house, and he's already himself without an agent, and he's had 2 contracts on it already fall through, and realized that he had terrible language in there that didn't protect himself when these people were trying to back out. So, it sounds like, oh good, I only have to put a sign in the yard and I can sell it quickly, but there's really just so much more that goes into it. And I can't wait, because Philip's going to record a show of us soon going over all of the behind-the-scene nightmares that happened in 2020.
And there may be some entertainment aspect to it too.
Yes, that's right. So, thanks for talking with us today. You got to meet my awesome friend here, Donna, at Kool 96.9, and she is another reason that makes life along 280 in Chelsea highly desirable. Thanks for watching.